I'm gonna be doing a requested video. I was watching another YouTuber. I believe her name is STYLEDBYKAMI. If not, then I'll definitely be sure to link it down below. But I believe that's her name. And I saw her video where she talked a little bit about the Depo Shot. And then I did comment on it as well. And around that time, it was crazy because I was thinking, you know what, maybe I should do a video about it. And then I had actually, her video popped up that same exact week. And then I ended up writing it like, oh, I was just thinking about doing a video about this because it changed my life so much as well. And then somebody was like, actually recently, like last week, she had messaged me on that same exact comment that I put in. She was like, oh, did you ever do the video? And I felt bad because that was like months ago that I said I was gonna do it and I didn't do it. So I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and actually follow through and do what I said I was gonna do. I don't know, it was like I wanted to do it, but then I just kind of got dismayed and I just felt like maybe nobody's gonna really care about this information. Like, why are you sharing it? You know, it's just a video that you'll probably end up either putting on private or unlisted eventually. But you know what, I guess for the time being, for whatever time it's going to be up on my channel, hopefully it'll be able to help someone out there who might have gotten some kind of thing after they took this particular shot and just didn't know, or just felt like maybe they was bugging or whatever. This can kind of validate your thoughts or whatever you were feeling, I guess. You know, I'm not a doctor. This is not giving you medical advice, because I recently did a video where I was talking about eczema and somebody was just like, oh, you know, you need to stay in your lane. Hold up. Y'all must not know about me because my channel never, and I need to just stick with the hair because I was just about to lose a subscriber. To be honest and true, and I said this in the comments section, and I don't care if I offend the person that said it because we already went back and forth. I mean, it's pretty much over, but just to kind of let y'all know, for anybody who feels like saying something like that on this particular video, I'm not with it, because at the end of the day, that's not what my channel started being about. When I first started off this channel, it was because I had issues with my son's father. I had a domestic violence issue. I also was just like, we was done with each other, and I felt like I wanted to do something. I started off doing karaoke on this channel. Following that, I started doing monologues, and then I was talking a little bit about my health issues. Most of those videos, well, not most of those, but the ones about my health issues, I deleted all of those because it was just something I didn't feel like talking about anymore. And then eventually I started doing hair after I had abandoned this channel for months. I started this channel back in 2007. I didn't really start uploading videos until 2011, and then I started getting real serious like later on in like 2014. That's when I saw it was an actual business opportunity and not just a hobby or fun. So for somebody to tell me to stay in my lane, I'm like, the fuck? Are you serious? You know what I mean? Like, don't even try to play me like that, because even if you look at my little bio that I put inside my little comment section, like, that's not my main focus that I want everything to be on. Or, you know, even though that's what's getting the views or whatever, or that's what I'm most consistent with, that's what I'm getting sponsorships with, that's not the only thing I'm about. And as a human being, that's not all I'm about either. My whole goal that I've come to realize is that this is a platform where I can empower people, I can talk to people about stuff, and I can hopefully help someone to maybe not make a bad decision or to just kind of think about certain things. So that's what I'm gonna do. So now that we got that out the way, with the Depo Shot, you guys know, I'm not going to go over the whole entire scenario of how it all went down. You guys probably saw that video, which I did back in December of last year, where I was talking about my biggest secret of 2016. But yeah, I had to take I had to take some form of birth control. Well, they made me feel like I had to take some form of birth control in order to not get pregnant, because my fibroids are so bad and they're pretty much like huge. Like, if I take a step back, you guys pretty much can't see it too well because, you know, I try not to wear too tight up shirts, but my stomach is really pretty big. Pretty big for my size, pretty big for my weight. And if I lay down, you can definitely see a huge bulge in my stomach. because I have a huge tumor in. So the main goal of me taking any type of birth control, which I haven't taken birth control in about 7 years, 8 years, about 8 years I haven't taken any form of birth control. They don't want to let me leave the hospital unless I was to take some type to prevent this from happening, because I was in such a bad state. They didn't want anything to happen. I did hemorrhage a lot when I had to go into the hospital and everything else. One of the doctors that was like an intern, he was like, you know, if you were my sister, I would suggest that you take the Depo shot because it's a little bit better. And, you know, I did a quick Google search. I didn't see anything crazy about it while I was in the hospital. But, you know, I was just kind of like, I didn't really get the full effect of really researching things the way I would personally want to research things. And I just kind of, it was my last day, and I just kind of said, you know what, I'm going to take the shot because then I won't have to worry about taking pills. I've always been, ever since I had the incident with the pill situation, which caused all of these allergies that I currently have, I've just been really against pills, and I didn't want to have to take pills for forever or for however long, you know, I would have to take it. Plus, I know that it does cause you to gain weight. When I did take it back in like 2011 or so, no, it was before that, like 2009 or whatever year that was, I remember I was gaining a lot of weight with it. So I said, okay, you know what, I'm gonna take the shot. He gave me the shot. I left the hospital, and I realized when I was walking even out the hospital, it was hard for me to breathe, but I didn't really think anything of it. I was okay, you know, I went home, and that was maybe on a Wednesday. By Friday, when I had my follow-up appointment, like that Thursday, my leg had gotten huge, you guys. Like, seriously huge. And I couldn't realize I didn't know what was going on. I was Googling things to try to see what they said. They said elevate your leg. It could be poor circulation, this and that. Finally went to the hospital for my follow-up appointment, and I found out that I had a clot. I mean, as far as what they're saying, they can't really say, because I did have a procedure done at the hospital. They're saying it could have been partly because once you have a procedure done, it's possible that you can just kind of get a DVT because of that, a blood clot because of that. So they're not saying directly that it's because of that particular shot, but when I actually got a chance to be home and research into the Depo shot, I mean, there are so many things. They give this to, or they used to give it to guys that were sex abusers in order to kind of calm them down and not make them think about having sex. And I know that when I did have the shot, it was many times that I just wasn't into it. I was very like, I just wasn't like ready, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't getting all juicy and stuff. Like, I was not ready. And I mentally I had to force myself in order to feel like I wanted to do anything at all. And I remember also just like having a lot of nightmares, I mean, I still get them sometimes, but I was getting them very frequently. I was getting a lot of anxiety. I remember when I was going back to work, I mean, it could be because of the clot and I wasn't able to walk well. I had a cane, but I remember just going on the train gave me so much anxiety. Like, I literally started crying on the train because I was so scared. And that was like my last week of work anyway, so I don't have to deal with that luckily anymore. Now I work from home. But yeah, that was something that was just like a crazy experience. I did notice that my hair was falling out, but I also, around that time, I ended up having to take blood thinners as well. So it could be either or that contributed to that. I did notice that I had like a lot more body odors and night sweats. Especially body odors. Like, I was like, I smell like that? Like, since when? You know, it was just like really ill. And I would just sit down and I would just be like getting hot flashes, like really, really hot flashes just randomly. I used to get these really bad headaches. Just like, it felt like everything was foggy. The room was spinning. I felt like I would literally fall down. I felt like somebody just took a helium, like you know those things with the helium, like an air pumper, and just pumped so much air into my head, and my head just felt so huge. It's like one of the worst experiences ever. And I just kept saying to myself, like, am I dying? Like, that caused more fear, more dread. Like, I just felt like so depressed all the time, you guys. And it was really, really hard. Like, I would come on here, sometimes you guys saw me, I didn't have a lot of makeup on. Or, I mean, I'm not really into makeup that much as I used to be anymore, because some things irritate my skin. So I just try to stick to my core stuff and my MAC lipstick. Even some lipsticks irritate me, so I gotta be careful a lot with things that I use because of the ingredients, and a lot of them might not list it. You have to go to like the website to see or whatever. So since I've been okay with MAC, I've stuck with that, and that's what I have on today. I was just like really really just feeling real low. Like, I don't feel like I felt that low. I mean, and it was a combination of things, but I feel like that definitely contributed to it. And like I said, the clot, like, just coming out of nowhere. I've been in the hospital before, but not like for any huge procedure other than having my son, and that was like, what, 11 years ago. I know your body changes and everything like that, but I definitely feel like this could have contributed to it. And now I'm stuck with like a leg that has pain almost all the time. Like, I literally feel pain in my leg every day, and this clot is still there. It's still, and you know, it takes a while for that medicine to come out. It should have been out a couple months ago, out of my system fully, from what I read. It does cause osteoporosis. I did notice that my leg has had, like, I had an injury years ago where I got hit by a car, but my knee wasn't so bad because I did get Sinovex injections into it that really helped. That doesn't last very long, but I haven't really had many issues unless it was winter time. That's when I have most of my issues, or if it's raining. But now I have daily issues. Like, I can't even go low too much anymore. Like, I don't even want to go to the club because I feel like I'm gonna be the old lady standing up, you know, holding up the wall or something, and that's never been me. I don't drink. I haven't drank in almost in what, 7 months, because now that I'm on the blood thinners, I don't even want to mess with that stuff, you know. So it's a lot that I feel like has stemmed off, and like I said, there's no like real solid conclusion that it's that, but I just totally, I can't even take any well, there's certain ones, but I forgot which ones they said. I think they can't have progesterone or estrogen. It was some certain kinds that I can't take, but most of them I'm not able to take just because I've had a DVT. Most of them can cause DVT. My whole objective here is just to kind of do your research. One of the things that they will tell you, especially when you have fibroids, is that you should take some type of birth control. So I definitely would say to just kind of do research, think about it before you take any next steps. Another thing they were trying to give me at one point to kind of make my tumor smaller was this thing called Lepron. My GYN suggested it. I told her, hold up, wait a minute. I'm going to research. If I feel like I want to do this, I'll come back and let you know. Tell me why I looked this thing up, and half of the people that took it, like, this is, first of all, this is something for guys that have prostate cancer and their tumors are really enlarged to make it smaller so they'll be able to operate. That's number one. Number two is that most of the women that I saw or I read about that have taken this have had depression, have had manic or panic attacks. They've had they've become bipolar. They just lost it. And I'm like, imagine I would have just been on some, yeah, go ahead, give it to me. I might not be the person I am today, you know. And that's one of the biggest things that I try to avoid, is taking anything that's going to change the person that I am. It's just scary, like all these medicines out there and what they can possibly do to your body. And that's just my personal experience, and I'm definitely happy that with the other medicine I did do my diligent research and just kind of look into it, and I was just like, oh no. Like, I'd rather get a large scar if I have to remove this fibroid than to try to make it smaller and become crazy. You know what I'm saying? Or become mentally insane, or whatever, you know, you want to call it. And one girl, I think she said her sister died from it. She took it, the next morning she never woke up. You know, stuff like that. It's creepy, it's scary, and it's just something that it just kind of freaks me out to know, like, you know, you're kind of playing Russian roulette a lot of times when you take these medicines, Russian roulette, a lot of times when you take these medicines, because you're not really sure what it is that it's going to do to you. So yeah, that's my whole thing. Hopefully I didn't make this too long. Hopefully somebody got something out of this and you appreciated this message. And if you don't have anything that's really empowering, or you're just going to say, oh, stick to the hair or some crap like that, like, to be honest, I don't want to read the bullshit. Like, I just don't. So you can just save it for someone else who actually wants it. You know what I mean? I was always taught as a little kid that if you don't have anything nice to say, you shouldn't say anything at all. And that, and I think it was Bambi. I seen that with Bambi too. When I was watching Bambi as a little kid, I remember, I think Bambi had told Thumper that, or the other way around, and it just kind of always stuck with me since I was in kindergarten or first grade, whatever year the movie came out. Because I remember I had the movie, I used to always watch it. I brought it to school, we all watched it on the big screen. It was amazing, it was epic. So that kind of always stuck with me, but for other people to lack that, it just kind of messes with me. Like I said, I really hope that you got something out of it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I will see you in the next one.